Hello, you're listening to ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined today by the newest president of Stacy's fan club, Sean.
Sometimes it's so long between records, I have no idea what the context is. Plus, I also don't listen to the podcast.
Stacy from Must Do Disney.
Oh, Must Do Disney Stacy. She's coming back.
Don't say Must Do Stacy.
Don't
say it.
Must Do Disney Stacy. Yes, I am a fan. Now, thank you for reminding me.
And that voice is our other co-host, Star Wars Land fortune teller, JJ.
I'm gonna keep calling my shot. I love it. I want an original trilogy land. That's why our Galaxy's Edge isn't getting the original. That's why.
Like Babe Ruth, calling your shot.
Calling my shot.
In today's episode, we have honorary geek Dan Miller, aka Professor Leisure, here to help us create our Myspace top 8 places to watch the big game in Disney World. I often find myself during the day thinking, man, someone right now is riding the People Mover. Someone is on the monorail. Someone is floating through the sky on the Skyliner. Every day, day and night, someone from somewhere is on vacation at Disney World. The idea that there's really any off-season left at Disney is completely gone. And because of that, someday, some year, you might find yourself on vacation at Disney World during football's big game. Actually, you know what, guys? Forget that. I don't care if we have the express written consent of the commissioner's office or not. I'm going to call it what it is. What if you're at Disney World during the Super Bowl? Where are you going to watch it? So today, we went to the top. We consulted Professor Leisure himself to help us put together this scholarly, peer-reviewed, absolutely not biased, definitive list of best places to watch the Super Bowl while at Disney World. Welcome, Professor Leisure. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy to be here. And most importantly, to talk about my number one favorite topic, which are the drinking spots at Walt Disney World. So, I mean, I am ready.
Lots of field study and field research done.
Absolutely. I mean, I've lived in Orlando for over 20 years, all as an adult. So we've been able to spend many a days at these places, and I'm ready to spend more.
That's great. Well, Professor, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I hear you have your own book.
That's right. So I grew up as a Disney World fan in a couple different places, but mostly in Michigan near the end. And we came down on a few vacations, fell in love with vacations at Walt Disney World. When it was time to branch out on our own and find a place to live, ended up in Central Florida, here in near Walt Disney World. For a while, I actually worked at Disney as a tour guide at Animal Kingdom as a part-time job, education team, doing behind-the-scenes tours. So I got to spend a lot of time there. And around the year 2013, I created a Twitter account up that I said, I'm sitting there on the beach at the Polynesian, drinking some beers, and I wanted somebody to talk to about this. And so I said, well, I guess I'm going to do that. So I started an account to say, who wants to talk about this part of Disney, which is hanging outside, drinking beers at the resorts and in the parks. And thankfully, there were quite a few people that wanted to do that as well. And it went down that road. So fast forward a few years, a friend of mine, Rhiannon, who was a writer, said, I've been looking for a topic to write a book. She was a professional writer, and she goes, but and I'm more for technical books for workplaces. And she said, what I'd like to do is I wanted a fun book. And she's like, you want to team up and write a book? And so with her professional writing knowledge and my location to the parks and also just ability to drink at the parks, we did write Drinking at Disney.
Hey, there it is.
Wow.
We went through every bar at Walt Disney World and talked about the vibe. My favorite part about drinking at Disney is the locations, the decorations, the themes. She focused more on what the different drinks were. So it was actually a pretty neat opportunity. That she was more into the drinks. I was more into the locations. And together it worked out really well.
It's all about the vibes.
For me, I can have important.
You can have a great time drinking a Bud Light if the vibe is right.
Absolutely. And that's sort of, honestly, that's what, a lot of times when people talk about drinking at Disney World, they're like, why? I mean, it's, $4 for one of these things off property. I was like, but it's unrelated, because you're really about the location more than you are the actual, beverage.
Right.
Definitely.
There's nothing like grabbing a beer on property or a mixed drink or whatever your poison is. It's a special place. And I think a big reason why the three of us started the podcast is a general love of those things, and
just being outside and being able to walk around. I mean, there's not a lot of places really in where any of us live where you can really wander outside for literally miles drinking outside. It is not really a thing you can do in most places. So that makes Walt Disney World a pretty special place for that.
Oh, absolutely. 2 of us have had our bachelor parties there, and it was a large factor. It was like, well, we could just walk around and drink and go on a roller coaster, and
that's
there's nothing better.
There's New Orleans or there's Disney World? Which one?
Yeah. There was the only 2. Yeah.
I mean, and then and I always think like that those 2 and Vegas. That's really the 3. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vegas is sad if you're there for more than like 48 hours. So, yeah.
So just so everyone knows, our listeners knows, the title of the book, of your book, is Drinking at Disney, A Tipsy Travel Guide to Walt Disney World's Bars, Lounges, and Glow Cubes. Nice.
The Glow Cubes.
Yeah, which is also, the best drinks at Disney come with Glow Cubes. So.
Yes, they do. They do.
So how did you come across the Professor Leisure moniker?
That's actually, it is actually related to the book. So when we went to publish the book, our publisher put it on Amazon, which is, the place that most people are going to be able to buy books, especially when you're promoting it online. And they create, for every author, a page. They create a page. And when they did it, Rhiannon got her own page. And so she had her own author page, and all of a sudden I look, and when they first did it, it said, written by Rhiannon, with her own little tag, and Professor Daniel Miller. And I'm like, what the heck? You click on it, and Professor Daniel Miller has like 6 books. So they actually attributed it to an actual history professor who writes all sorts of books about the economics and things like that, history of economics. And so it just immediately was, there it is. And so they're just Professor Miller. And just a few years ago, I wanted to just sort of shift the focus away just from drinking. So my original title was Drunk at Disney, switched it to, I wanted to really expand to my main focus, which is just fun, having a good time outside, leisure aspects. So I just went Professor Leisure.
That's awesome. I wonder what Professor Dan Miller thought of having your book under his biography.
I actually, if I remember correctly, he's actually had passed away by then. It was like these are not modern books. It was just so that would have been fun. We didn't do a lot of research into it, but that would have been either way. I'm sure he would have been super thrilled about the topic.
That's so funny.
So with one book under your belt, are there any more in the future, or is the plan just to focus on vibes and hanging?
Vibes and hanging mostly. Down the road, you really never know. It was really fun doing the book, and it is always possible to potentially. We actually did have an update ready to go right around the time of the shutdown with COVID, and it changed so much of what we had already had prepared. So we just got put on the back burner and never came to be yet. So potentially, we'll see. It really is fun. I've been very happy to have met several people like in the parks that have had the book, and a few times, especially back in that I've actually run into people that had it with them. So that was pretty cool.
Oh wow!
Are there any bars or lounges that have opened up since you released the book that you kind of wish you could have covered in the book? That you've kind of fallen in love with since putting pen to paper?
Absolutely. the entire Skyliner bar crawl, which is one of the things that the book had that was my favorite part, was I did what are called drinking plans, because logistics at Disney is my number one favorite thing, which is if I'm at Port Orleans Riverside, what is a cool path I can do, path of least resistance, that includes some really neat spots to grab some beverages. And so I had these several different drinking plans that were, and the Skyliner bar flight was something I would have loved to have focused on, because that's one of my favorite things now. So,
oh yeah,
I would say that's number one. I am a fan of Oga's Cantina, and that had come out after that as well. So those are probably the two that are my favorites that have come out since then.
Okay, so we know that college game day programming is on Leisure Time TV. What else can we find on the channel?
Oh, man, that is so fun. I have so much fun with Leisure Time TV. So, yeah, we do, my friend Matt and I, we do Leisure Time TV College Game Day, which is a pregame show for every college football weekend, where we try to go somewhere fun and pick the games and have a little fun with the pageantry. In the spring, we do Leisure Time TV Resort Pool Madness, which is we create a field of 64 pools, resort pools in Orlando, whether it's Disney, Universal, off property, and put it in the bracket, and then let them fight it out and find out who the national champion is. Last year, national champion was Universal's Hard Rock Hotel, which is one of the best pools in Orlando. Close final matchup against the Polynesian.
The lava pool?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the biggest news story last year was Yacht and Beach, Stormlong Bay, was on injured reserve all year. Because they were under refurbishment. They're back for 2026, yeah. So who knows? They are obviously a perennial powerhouse.
Are you in the pool when you are like making the decision?
No, but we do a lot of preseason hype. We go around and do it, and then the games. They tend to mirror what happens in the actual tournament. Mm-hmm. So really lining them up in the bracket is the big part, because once you get them locked in, the games, then I'm just reporting. I'm just reporting the results. So you might actually have, Mighty Ducks pool pulling off major upsets. You never know. But last year, all 4 number 1 seeds made it, which was, it is what it is. They're tough competitors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then in the summer, we do, it's called National Duck Racing League, where we go to the lazy rivers of the Central Florida and race rubber ducks. And last year we had 10 ducks, and each one had a team. So, like, for example, we didn't have one, you guys last year, but the ReedyGeeks duck, or maybe this year, I don't know. And we race them down the lazy river at resorts and also the water parks, and have some fun with that.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds great. Yeah, that'd definitely be something up our alley. Yeah, that's right up our alley.
Yeah, we're also no strangers to bracket challenges as well.
Yes.
We're in the middle of preparing our Mouse Madness bracket for 2026.
Oh. I could feel the intensity.
Yeah. Last year was bars. Congratulations, Nomad Lounge.
Oh.
Again.
The Golden E-Ticket Award of Best Bar.
Wow. That is prestigious.
Our bracket's going to go live pretty soon. This is February 3rd. The 10th, we're going to announce the brackets. The brackets will go live. And the bracket is going to be sit-down restaurant, the best sit-down restaurant at Walt Disney World. We're going to match up the 64 best, and we'll see who becomes the victor. Fill out your brackets and vote. That'll start next week, the 10th.
Man, I can't wait to see, what happens when you get, Chef Mickey's versus Yachtsman? What are we going to do? My gosh, how does that happen? I don't know.
What's the criteria?
Okay, wow. Ohana versus, Sebastian's? Wow. Holy smokes. Can't wait.
That's a matchup. Ohana versus Sebastian. That's 2 titans.
I mean, wow. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we're excited. We're having a lot of fun. It's a good year to be a geek.
Well, that's progress for you.
What is the best part about being a local visitor, and what is the worst part of being a local visitor?
I think the best part is being able to do the unique timed events, like you can go in the things that, for example, if let's just say you wanted to go see Boys to Men or whatever, you can slip into one of those concerts, or if you really want to check out the different festivals. That type of thing is really the best thing about being a local, and also just never having that feeling like you have to do a specific thing. You know, like if you're going to Epcot and there happens to be a low wait, you can hop on one of the rides, but you just don't ever have that feeling of really needing to hit anything. But honestly, the reverse of that is you just don't get that. The staying on property for multiple nights is that is the primo Disney experience, and to not have that, the check-in experience where you walk in. At least back in the day, they used to hand you that folder. I mean, there's nothing better than you see, and so to that portion, I think, and just the relaxation of being able to leave the park knowing you have a room versus driving home, like that just is, or Ubering home, like whatever that you don't just not having that.
Yeah.
That is a big part. Thankfully, I have some, like a good friend of mine, Tom, he comes down and stays, and I get to sort of like fantasy camp it because he'll have a room. Yeah. So I'll get to fantasy camp that every once in a while. And that's really when I spend my most time in the parks. And then the other thing, the best part of being local is really emphasizing like the recreation and water parks, stuff that I completely understand. Like my favorite part of Walt Disney World has always been, the boating, the pools, the water parks. But I get it when people are like, I came all the way down here from X location and I just don't have the time in my schedule to spend a day like foot golfing. Like you love to do it, but I can't justify it. I didn't come down here for a day of foot golf, but to be able to do those things is again, that's the positive.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So if I was scrolling your Twitter feed or X, Elon's app, whatever it's called these days, it wouldn't take too long to come across hashtag eliminate standby.
Yeah.
Is that your mantra? Do you live by this? And how did this come about?
The leisure thing is not, it really is something. I'm a very relaxed person. I've never liked waiting in long lines for rides, but I just like wandering the parks. The problem with that is you can hit lots of rides with low waits. You can hit, Living with the Land, love it. Don't get me wrong. I love any of those rides that have short lines. The People Mover, you mentioned it earlier. I mean, that is, when you say that there's always somebody riding the People Mover.
Yeah.
But at some point, you want to ride a high demand ride. You want to ride these big rides, Guardians of the Galaxy, Tron. You do want to do these things. And then people always say, if you got rid of Fast Pass, the standby line would move faster, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I always said, well, what if you eliminated standby? Then we could have more Fast Passes. So the same logic applies to both. And Universal did it with Tapu Tapu at their water park. So they have a system that works where everybody comes back for about 20 minutes so you wait in line for 20 minutes, but then anything over 20 minutes,
your number's not called yet.
It absolutely is something that I've always really wanted. But when you're serving two lines, a standby and a Fast Pass, then both kind of stink.
That's true. Yeah. So what is the longest line you would wait on?
Especially if I'm by myself. Like if I'm with like a family member that really wants to do it, I would say maybe like 50 minutes. If
That's
I'm by myself,
good.
We're down to like 20. Or 10. Especially, but then you also have to, when I think about wait times, it's not just that, it's how long does it actually take to get on and off of each ride too? Because like Expedition Everest to me is the absolute most efficient ride in the world, because you're on and off in a few minutes. Versus say Guardians of the Galaxy.
Resistance. Oh yeah, Guardians too with the two pre-shows. All those two pre-show ones.
Or Flight of Passage, versus Navi River Journey. Both have pretty long waits, Navi River Journey and Flight of Passage, but I end up preferring Navi River Journey because to me that's more of a pure wait whatever you wait and then you get on and ride.
So heading back to Epcot, where are you going to be starting? Mexico or Canada? The eternal question here.
My playbook, if I'm walking in, we are just drinking, we're going to drink around the world, have a regular Epcot day, no other factors. always Mexico. Every single time.
Yeah.
Always Mexico. When other factors come in, like if you're going to do a ride or something like that, it can play into it. But if I'm coming in full on, always left.
Can I throw a wrench in your plan?
I'm
Because
ready.
I am someone, I always was Mexico first. But then I realized that I would often skip Canada. If the goal is the drink around the world, I actually propose that you start in Canada, but then you go to Mexico second.
Yeah.
And the beer in Canada is it's a flyover state. You just grab a beer and you drink it on the walk to Mexico, and that's when the party really starts.
I love your wrench because when I say the other factors, so I'm going to tell you, there is a factor, and I will talk about this later of why. Yes, because of my wife, there are many times we start in Canada and then go to Mexico. But I'm going to save my reasoning for later in the show.
Very good.
A little teaser. I like it.
Keep listening.
Yeah.
I mean, the listen and the download already counted, right?
Well, we got to get them to listen for 20 minutes. At least 20 minutes.
Before we jump into the next part here, 4 bars, rank them best to worst. Beacon Barrel, Geo 82, Oga's Cantina, and Trader Sam's.
Okay. Easy. Oof. Okay. That's
Not
as
easy.
as I thought.
It's not easy.
Okay, I've got to go. Trader Sam's is head and above my absolute favorite. That one's going to be based on the fact that it's at the Polynesian. So as the overall experience of entering the bar and then having there, and they have my favorite drinks are there. So that one's number 1. I'm going to go with Beacon Barrel number 2, mostly because of the ambiance. I mean, it is. I don't know if all 3 of you have been. It is phenomenal. I mean, it looks amazing. The little parrot that comes out is amazing. Everything is great about Beacon Barrel. And the drinks are okay, but just the experience is great. And the fact that you literally, the first time I rode it, I walked up and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride was literally, it's a walk-on. So I walked on, I rode Pirates of the Caribbean, got off, and walked directly into Beacon Barrel.
That's
It
awesome.
was phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't beat that timing.
Yeah, if you can somehow plan for that, try to do it. It is absolutely phenomenal, and it doesn't work as well the other way. Got to get off the ride and on into the bar. 3 would be Oga's. Close 3 to Beacon Barrel. They're very similar, especially the way it's set up inside the park. But I will say for both of those 2, you have to ask to stand at the bar though. So it's better being a smaller party. I like that experience way better. So it's better to go as a small party, 1 or 2 versus you got 6, 7 people. Not as good. And then last is Geo. Nothing against it. It's just at Epcot, I have no need for that at all.
Yep.
Just absolutely don't need it.
That was my feeling. Yeah.
Fair. It's a fair list. These are 4 great bars. I know some people would have ordered it the exact opposite way and they would have been justified, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of sitting at the bars too. I feel like that's always the best place at these types of establishments. Yeah.
It is. And if you go in with a 1 or a 2, you can do it. You can do it, and it's almost like you might have to wait a few minutes longer, but they'll typically do it. But I can't imagine it being a thing with more than 2 people. I mean, it's just gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said before, I think the bartenders at Disney World are the best. Like, they're so fun to talk to. They have stories. But I think at places like Beacon Barrel and Oga's, the right cast member will be so fully into that character and that world that, like, you get an extra part of the experience because your bartender is the bartender in the cantina and not just a bar in Disney World. Like, they're playing a Star Wars character.
Yep. And the same thing, I would say Beacon Barrel, my experience is, it's very much that. I mean, they got a bunch of pirate jokes and all that stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, so now it's time for the Lightning McQueen round. It used to be the Rivers of America round, but no one liked it, so we replaced it with IP.
I think Professor
It's
Leisure
a bad
liked
joke,
it.
but it's my joke. So, all right. So this is just going to be quick answers to some basic Disney, favorites types of questions. No explanation, just your answer. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Favorite park?
Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Nice. Favorite ride?
Expedition Everest.
Favorite resort?
Polynesian.
Favorite transportation method?
Ain't nothing finer than the Disney Skyliner.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. Favorite sit-down restaurant?
Citricos.
Nice. That's mine too. Favorite quick service?
Satuli Canteen.
Yeah, nice. Favorite bar?
Tambu Lounge.
And favorite drink?
Lapu Lapu at the Tambu Lounge.
Classics.
Vacation in the palm of your hand.
You did great. You fit right in with us. You're certainly earning your stripes as an honorary geek.
Feels good.
So, Dan, I wonder if, like us, did you have a MySpace circa 2006?
I absolutely did.
Yeah.
I missed being able to put the top songs.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember your top 8 friends ordering them?
I do remember the top. Yes, absolutely. I remember doing that.
I mean, this was one of the most stressful things you could do in 2005. That was our stress level, was figuring out what the order of your top 8 is. So as the millennials that we are, we wanted to bring back MySpace, and we did it in our ranking system. So it's kind of easy to rank 10. Everyone does 10, but it's difficult to cut it at 8. And so that's why we do MySpace top 8s. And today is the best places to watch the Super Bowl. We've already said that we don't care what the commissioner says. We're going to call it what it is. This is us being rebellious. This is as rebellious as the ReedyGeeks get.
I don't know. I'm going to lock my doors.
So we're each going to take turns counting down our aggregate list. Again, this is our peer-reviewed list of the 4 of us. Before we get started with our top 8, though, it's always fun to throw in there some honorable mentions. So I'll start off with my honorable mention. It didn't quite make the cut, but Martha's Vineyard at the Beach Club is a great place to watch TV in general. And I didn't really think there were many TVs in there. And just the last time I was in the area, I poked my head in and noticed that they actually are all around on all the walls. So there's probably 6 to 8 TVs in there. And I'm guessing on Super Bowl Sunday they must all be playing the Super Bowl. And I don't know if you're going to get the sound there. If that's the type of place, but that's a great place if you're in the Epcot area, and one of the other bars on this list is too crowded. You should go to Martha's Vineyard.
Can I jump in there real quick? I will tell you from personal experience that is an excellent choice. That I don't remember if it was the Super Bowl itself, but it was a big televised event, and they had actually rolled out a larger TV on a cart for the event in Martha's Vineyard. So you are absolutely right on target with that, with sound.
With sound, wow.
So it might have been a playoff game. I don't remember what it was.
I was wondering if like a lot of these would play sound at all on any of their TVs, but we'll see. Okay, Sean, do you want to take us on to your honorable mention?
So my honorable mention is the Dockside Bar out behind the boathouse in Disney Springs. It's such a kind of off the beaten path little bar that I think that if you're there with the kind of the right amount of people, it's kind of your own private Super Bowl watch party, because there are a couple little TVs up at the bar. And you get food there, you get drinks there, you're outside. So hopefully if the weather's nice, it could be a good night. And I think that's a really little fun spot to, instead of being like, you would think City Works and the Springs, huge, bars would be a good place to watch it. But sometimes you want a little more of a to yourself, intimate experience with a couple people. And I think that's a good spot.
Yeah. And then my honorable mention is going to be a very specific location that no longer exists. It is the bathroom at ESPN Zone, because it had TVs in it, and we all know how hard it is to find a TV in Disney World. You're a Disney fan, you'd be surprised. You'd think like, oh, every bar's got a TV. Not in Disney World. But the ESPN zone had so many TVs, they had TVs in the bathroom. So you weren't going to miss a second.
That's a good one.
I was on vacation the weekend of the wild card round in 2012. The last time the Giants won the Super Bowl, I watched the Giants play the Falcons at the ESPN bar. And I was so afraid to leave the bar and go to the bathroom because I didn't want to miss any of the game. And I finally went, and to my absolute joy and mesmerizing experience, in the stall, you look right up and boom, the screens are right there.
That's so funny.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I wanted them to keep it when they turned it to Cake Bake Shop.
God bless America. My honorable mention comes from really it's going to be Bar Riva at the Riviera. And the main reason is I am a nervous sports watcher. So what I like about this location is it feels like an inside bar. So you're out of the elements. You have a seat, but it is completely open on one side. So when I get nervous, I can just stand up and walk out and just go for a short walk. And it's a great place to sort of take a quick lap and then make yourself right back in. So that is the main reason why that is my honorable mention. And it's right on the Skyliner. And basically the same thing would go for its neighbor, the Banana Hammock. They're both very similar, but I would still give Bar Riva the best logistics for a nervous sports watcher.
Yeah, that's an underrated spot. That's the pool bar at the Riviera Resort. It's
and that's a great criteria that I didn't think of, is like the ease of getting out of there quickly. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh my gosh, you son of a, and you just get up, and there's a bathroom very close as well, which is also a nice criteria. But yeah, when I get frustrated, I need to take a quick lap. It's perfect.
All right, so let's get into our top 8, and I want to put everyone paint the scene for everybody. Okay, so the Super Bowl this year is being played at the Hard Rock Stadium, right? You know that the winner is going to go on the East Coast. The Bills have someone that's actually catching the ball these days.
That's
right? No.
Wait.
No, not this year.
This
pretend. I'm painting you a picture.
Oh, this pretend year.
Okay.
In this pretend year, it's the Hard Rock Stadium. They're going to be at Disney World. The winners are going to be at Disney World. So you travel down to Walt Disney World. The Bills finally have someone that can catch the ball on their team. So you want to see Josh Allen going down Main Street, USA. That's the goal. You go down there, but where are you going to actually watch the game? Number 8 on our list, the TV in your 3-bedroom villa. Okay, splurge, guys. How often is this going to happen? drop down your credit card. Hope that you have over a 6,000 limit credit limit on the card open. And watch it in your 3-bedroom villa. And if I can recommend the Grand Floridian, that is a fantastic 3-bedroom villa. Not that I know. I've viewed it before. I've seen it.
I think Princess Diana knows.
Or the Riviera. That's also a fantastic place. But let's say that, you don't have the money of the royal family. Then, I would recommend Old Key West. Those are huge villas. Some of the biggest areas, sleeping areas on property is at Old Key West. Your 1-bedroom, your 2-bedroom. But really, in general, watching the game in your hotel room, like that might be the place, kind of like the cave in your house, where you can be by yourself in your solitude and enjoy the game on your own. This is the introvert. Yeah. This is the number 8's for the introverts. I was going to say,
I'm a little surprised this wasn't a little bit higher up on the list, because this is maybe one of my preferred. If I can't go to like one of the top 2 or 3 bars I'd want to go to, I'll just I'll grab some takeout. I'll grab some food from my resort. Grab a 6-pack, and I'll go back to my room. It's the only place in Disney you can you don't have to have shoes, and maybe you could wear some sweatpants and not feel guilty about it sitting at a bar. But I think the room TV, whether it's a 3-bedroom villa or whether it's sitting on the Murphy bed in your room at Pop Century, I still think in the room is an underrated spot to check the game out.
Just make sure you know if the monorail can see inside your room, and you put pants on.
Yeah.
Keep the pants on.
Yeah, I didn't even think of this. It didn't make my list, but once I saw that some people had submitted it made me question my decision because, yeah, you're right. If you've got a 3-bedroom villa, you got that nice big living room in Old Key West. Yeah, you can throw your own party there. You've got a full kitchen. You've got a big living room. You can pile some people in there. That would be a good time.
Give your friend Professor Leisure a call. Have him come by.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially get that sweet Grand Floridian parking.
Where they make you cross a road, a major road. Okay, so Professor, why don't you take us to number 7?
We are going with number 7 from the Wilderness Lodge, the Territory Lounge. Now, you want a picture. I want to paint you a picture. Think of the show Yellowstone, and you're John Dutton sitting, waiting to protect your land, and you're in this beautiful log cabin, but it's the Super Bowl Sunday. So you go down to by your fire pit, and there it is, on the screen, the Super Bowl. You got your whiskey in one hand.
And a whiskey in the other hand.
And that's all you need. And that's what you get.
That's it.
And that's what you get at the Territory Lounge. That vibe. It's such a great spot.
Yeah, intricate, like the carvings and stuff, right? And then TVs, which honestly I'd never noticed.
What's literally like in the wall, but not like hidden. It's in the wall, almost like when you go to one of those, when they have one of those TVs that when you turn it off, it looks like a painting. It's almost like that. Is what it's like embedded in the wall like a trophy.
Yeah, and I like that because it's a lobby bar. You're going to get people coming in, coming out, so there's a lot of foot traffic, but not too much. Everyone in there is going to be concentrated on the game. So yeah, this is a great bar in general. Great place to watch the game. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, and it's going to be a little more. We're going to have a few more coming down the list that are a little more upbeat, where you're going to have people probably, lively version. This is more the chill, sit back with your whiskey, kind of a sipping experience, which is a really nice way to do it.
Yeah, maybe you don't actually like any of the teams in it, and you just want to catch a little bit of it. That could be it.
Man, let's paint a picture that the Patriots and the Seahawks are in. For you non-football fans, that is the actual matchup, not Andrew's made-up scenario about
the Bills actually getting to a Super Bowl.
It'll happen. This is day 2 of me not believing that Joe Brady's my coach.
Denial's one of the stages, yes.
Denial's one of the stages. All right, Sean, number 6.
Number 6, and this is one of my favorite places in Disney World, the Tambu Lounge in the Polynesian. I have a specific memory. I had said I was at Disney World during the wild card round in 2012, and we had dinner at Ohana that same night of the Giants game, and the late game that day was the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And while we were waiting for our reservation for our table, you get a drink at the Tambu Lounge, and they were playing. It was the end of the game, and we were right there. The bar was full of Broncos fans and Steelers fans. It was such a fun scene because it's also, being a New Yorker, I've never seen that many of either of those fan bases in one spot before. And the first play of overtime, Tim Tebow throws touchdown, 80-yard pass to Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace. And the Broncos beat the Steelers, and the Broncos fans went nuts because I'm pretty sure they were the underdog in that game. And the funny part was there were Broncos fans that were celebrating, Steelers fans quickly getting their checks. And there were a couple Patriots fans there celebrating because the winner of that game would go on to play the Patriots next week, and I think the Patriots felt better about playing Tim Tebow than Ben Roethlisberger. But the Tambu Lounge is always fun. It's always got a good. It's always a good vibe because the Polynesian is a vibe in general. But the Tambu Lounge is always full of people that are either there specifically to get their cocktails and get the drinks, or they're waiting for dinner, just came out of dinner. It's always a good and high energy spot, and I just think watching in that little lounge there, perfect spot.
Yeah, and I think something important, access to Ohana's wings. I think that is a key factor of
sticky wings.
Why this place is so enjoyable for the Super Bowl. You want to grab an order of wings, and Ohana's got a great order of wings that you can order when you're at the Tambu Lounge.
All right. JJ, why don't you take us to number 5?
Okay. At number 5, we're going back to the log cabin, back to Yellowstone, back to the Wilderness Lodge, but to a more upbeat spot. We're going to Geyser Point, which is nice little indoor-outdoor. You're covered from the elements. If it's chilly, I think they've got some heaters and stuff. It's a really nice spot. Good food. It's got some bar kind of food available to you, which is, something you're going to want at the Super Bowl. You're going to need some wings. You might want a burger. It's got all that stuff. It kind of checks all my boxes. The TVs are in a really good spot. So even if you're not right at the bar and you're at one of the tables, you can still see the TVs, which a lot of the bars that have TVs, there are some not so good angles. Places like Three Bridges, where if you're right in front of the TV, it's great. Three Bridges at Coronado. But it's hard to necessarily have a spot where you can actually see the TVs. But Geyser Point's laid out in a better way for viewing convenience. So this obviously did really well. Congratulations, number 5.
Yeah, you mentioned bar food, and it's like elevated bar food. That bison burger is delicious. That's fantastic.
I just love this location from a views right on Bay Lake.
Yeah.
And for me, even though I started here, maybe I'm gonna catch that boat over and catch the second half over at a different place. So I hop on that boat. So it's nice having all that opportunity.
Oh, like wanderer. if you're getting a little superstitious, maybe your team's not doing so good, you need a location change, boat's right there.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah. And also, again, you said you're nervous. It's indoor-outdoor.
Perfect.
So you can take a lap, but still keep an eye on the TV while you're decompressing.
That's a great one.
This is a good question here. Where would you go? Like the Outer Rim, or
That's the first thing that came to mind, because you hop on that resort boat and it's first stop. It's just the natural next stop. Yeah, or you could go downstairs to
or you go to the
Steakhouse
cave.
71.
The cave. Yeah.
So between those two, I'm an old school guy, and that Outer Rim,
that 90s vibe. Steakhouse 71 is another decent spot to watch the game. Not for someone that would need to take a lap, though, because that is definitely an enclosed space.
It's great. It's great for a vampire.
The cave.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's so bright in there, though.
Yeah.
They tried their best. They really did. It's very bright in there.
Yep.
Everything is so white. And plus, that place, talk about a place with a good burger. That's a good burger.
We ended up microwaving frozen pizzas.
Okay, so number 4 on our list, we are going back to the Yacht and Beach Club, to I think one of my favorite bars on property, hands down. This was last year on Mouse Madness. I championed this bar so hard. Crew Cup Lounge is just such a great bar. I love the wood. It kind of reminds me a lot of Territory Lounge. They have a great bourbon selection. The food you're getting is from the Yachtsman. So the sliders there are the Yachtsman meat. It's great. But most importantly for today's topic is they have TVs. They have specifically at least 3 TVs, because last time I was there was Jurassic Park Harry Potter, and then another movie on, and I was just going back. I couldn't keep track of any conversation that that the people were that anyone was trying to have with me, because I kept on going back between all those movies. But this would be a great place to watch. The bar is excellent, but there's also booths, and booths are great. You can have a full meal here. So it's a place that you can eat dinner and stick around for the rest of the game.
I mean, this is such a solid choice. When we were doing Drinking at Disney, we really lamented that Cruise Cup Lounge was the sort of ahead of its time when it first opened, because it really was the beginning of, we called it a Disney bar renaissance of just so many new resort additions, and they were all such solid entries, and this really was the first of those, as far as took things off the stand that were not on the standard bar menu, like craft beers and really unique cocktails. And they just, again, ahead of its time. And it's just like you said, it's got a sports theme, like rowing, but it's just got that like a at a country club, like the bar at a country club.
Yeah.
What a cool vibe.
I totally agree. There's some lounge style seating there. It's a nice vibe. For someone that bashes Steakhouse 71 for being cave-like, this has some
a little bit, but it's wooden.
Vibes.
I'm okay with a wooden cave, right? Like, yeah.
You're okay with a wooden cave. Okay.
Oh,
It's
it's
swanky. I love it.
Swanky.
That's a great way to describe it.
You
Right.
don't like the airport lounge cave, aka
Right.
Steakhouse
Swanky.
71.
Yes.
You want the swanky cave.
It's Bushwood Country Club from Caddyshack.
Okay, so Dan, why don't you take us to number 3?
We're going to go with number 3, live from Disney Springs, CityWorks, over on the west side. Personally, it is what functionally, and I see why this is so high, number 3, because functionally, it is a great choice. I mean, you've got giant TVs. There's 300 TVs. Good food. It checks every single box for a good place to watch a Super Bowl. If you were in Omaha, because at the Marriott, it's got everything that a great Marriott in Omaha would have. But we're in Walt Disney World, where there's imagination and magic, and that's why I can't justify spending time at CityWorks, because it's CityWorks, not Imagination Works. There is no imagination in CityWorks, but it does check every single box. So if it's just literally somebody that doesn't care about all that stuff, absolutely send them there, because they're going to have the best Super Bowl experience, on paper.
Yes, this checks all the boxes on paper, but if you wanted some Disney magic, I think you've hit the nail on the head. But I do like your idea, this idea that you're floating out here, that some Figment IP could work at CityWorks. We can get a little Figment IPA or something on there. I think they got enough handles.
There's plenty of beer there. Yeah, we
that.
had the same conversation about this place when we did the bracket last year. Is that CityWorks in theory is a really great bar, but it's just Yard House, in Disney World. It's nothing you probably can't get in downtown Orlando at a place like that. Like it doesn't scream Disney. It's just a really big bar that has a ton of TVs. So for the purpose of this specific topic, it's going to get up there. It's going to rank high on the list, because I watched a Thursday night game down there a couple months ago, and it was wild for a Thursday night football game. It was maybe the craziest football watching experience I've had with other people. It was insane. But yeah. For the purpose of this list, good spot, but lots of room for critique.
We watched Juan Soto send the Yankees to the World Series at that bar about 2 years ago, year and a half ago. That was a good time.
Yeah, it would be interesting. The imagination works. I like that idea. Or even like
right?
after you said that, I thought of like it would be cool if like the Adventurers Club was still there, right? And for the Super Bowl, they turned it into like the Adventurers Club is watching the Super Bowl, and all the characters are like commenting on the Super Bowl and everything like that. Like that would be fun. They bring in some new characters of like players or something, or they could do a lot of fun with that of making theatrics.
Look at him toss that pigskin.
Yeah.
John Madden is a known member of SEA.
Oh, that'd be great.
You didn't have to brand new, get it? Because you got a wonderful imagination.
Okay, at number 2, we're going to Coronado Springs over to Rick's Sports Bar. This is another place, very classic sports bar vibes, but you're steps away from a beautiful resort. You're right in the middle of all the action at Coronado Springs. Really easy to get outside for some people that like to take a lap. Also, if for some reason it's packed out, you actually can still watch the TVs from the quick service area.
Yes.
Me and Andrew learned this we watched a football game.
I think it was Bills
from
Chiefs.
the quick service area. A little bit of one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bills Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is great to be just above CityWorks because I think it checks every box on paper, just like we said about CityWorks, but it does have that little bit extra that makes you feel like you're at Disney World. I mean, it slides right into the theme of the Southwest, American Southwest and Mexico. It has a little bit more je ne sais quoi than the CityWorks, but I've had some pretty good memories there too, and it's gone through a lot of changes over the years, and it's just got some history too for one of the newer phases of Walt Disney World.
Yeah. All right, Sean, our number 1 best place to watch the Super Bowl at Walt Disney World.
It's the bowling alley.
That's right.
Perfect.
Splitsville this is another one that, like, when we did the bracket last year, Splitsville was a relatively early exit because of it didn't really have much to offer in terms of what we're looking for, the three of us, and when we go to a bar in Disney. But, like, again, for purpose of this list, it might be the best one. It's got the vibe there is just loud, fun, people having a good time. There's TVs everywhere. They've got all the food and drinks you're looking for. They've got those daiquiris, the slushies. They've got platters of samplers and wings and handheld food and all the beer you could want. And you could sit outside. You could sit inside. It's a very good spot, I think. I would probably have a great time watching
You could literally be bowling while you're watching it. Yeah.
You could.
Yeah, and I just love that. And for somebody like me who likes the fact that number 1 and number 3, you can literally just pop back and forth between them. If I like to take my lap, I'm catch. Just go back and forth between the two. They're right around the corner from each other, so that's pretty cool. And Splitsville, you mentioned the food. I mean, some of my favorite food in all of Disney Springs is actually at Splitsville. And when they added that, I don't want to call it a tiki bar downstairs, but it's tiki-ish, tiki adjacent. Downstairs just adds just even more a really cool spot. So I love Splitsville. I get a lot of people that are in town that are here for, say, like, kids sports or other business things like that aren't necessarily here for Disney World, and they ask me where to go. I always throw Splitsville in there as and I have to say, like, hear me out, kind of thing. But then also, if a lot of times if you're with like a group from work, it's even better because sometimes you want something to do when you've got people that aren't necessarily friends. And this checks that box too. That's a solid numero uno.
That's the list.
That is the list.
I think it's a good list.
JJ, would you like to take us from 8 to 1?
Sure. I can run through the list quickly for everybody in case you've forgotten. At number 8, we have On the TV of Your 3-Bedroom Villa. At number 7, we've got Territory Lounge at Wilderness Lodge. At number 6, Tambu Lounge at the Polynesian. Number 5 is Geyser Point, also at Wilderness Lodge. At number 4, we've got the Crew Cup Lounge at the Yacht Club. At number 3, we've got CityWorks Ale House at Disney Springs. At number 2 is Rick's Sports Bar at Coronado Springs. And at number 1, of course, Splitsville at Disney Springs. Congratulations, everybody. You fought hard, and you earned your spot.
Was that unanimous? Was Splitsville unanimous?
I think I had CityWorks at number 1, but it was... Everyone had it at 1 or 2.
Right.
It was pretty consensus.
It was pretty consensus, yeah. I had Crew Cup 1 and Splitsville 2. But let's think about this Super Bowl right now. So Patriots Seahawks, where are you guys going to watch it? Like, this list aside, or one of the places on this list, like where would you watch Patriots Seahawks in particular?
Well, it's a game I have very little rooting interest in. So for me, vibes and fun are more important than actually. If this was a game I cared about watching, the Room is a high choice on the list. But if I just want to be able to look up and see the game, Splitsville, CityWorks, anywhere on the list. This list really, but I think the top of the list is the best place to just casually watch a game you don't really have a big rooting interest in.
Yeah.
If I were in Disney, I might try to do a little hop action, and maybe I would start at the Wilderness Lodge and maybe bop around and see where the event takes me. Geyser Point is probably where I'd start.
On this, I probably would start at Crew Cup, go to Martha's Vineyard next, and then just after halftime or something like that, after I get tired, just go into Epcot and just watch it on my phone or something. Just forget it.
Yeah, my gut immediately tells me if I could, and I'll tell you my exact thoughts, and this is what would happen, is I go, you know what, I'd love to watch it at Tambu Lounge, which is a great spot on here, but I'm nervous about the sound.
Yeah.
Because I do want the sound on. And I would say, you know what, I'm not, so I'm going to check down to what's similar to Tambu Lounge, and I'm going to go with over at Wilderness Lodge. I agree. I'm going to start, and they're having both those options of Geyser and Territory. That's where I'm going to end up.
Right, one of them will have the sound on, and that'll be the spot. Yeah.
So I can kind of make it. So I agree with you on Wilderness.
Nice.
I think I'm just in a Wilderness era. I'm like, the next time I go, I want to stay at Wilderness Lodge. I'm in my Wilderness Lodge.
This is the week for it, like literally right now, because it feels like Montana out here right now.
I'm sure it's still warmer than here. It was 11 degrees out today, which is unusually cold.
This 14-inch or 18-inch drift in front of my house is not going to melt anytime soon with these temperatures.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's awful.
Boys, watch your manners.
Yeah, if you can't say something nice.
Boys.
Okay, guys, we have an esteemed guest. I think it's appropriate that we play a little game. Is everyone down?
I'm good.
I'm
Love
ready.
games.
I was born for this.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so in the spirit of this being a football time of year, I can't think of anything more football forward than a fantasy draft. We've got the guy that wrote the book on drinking at Disney. So what better thing to do than to do a fantasy draft about drinking at Epcot?
Let's do it.
So we are gonna do a 5-round draft. So we're each gonna have 5 drinks for an evening of maximum leisure and enjoyment. I've sent a list to you guys of all of the bars that are available to you. Mm-hmm. And when you make your selection, you're going to pick the bar and the drink, and both are gone. You cannot have, if there's a drink that's in multiple locations, you've taken that drink away from being selected. And on the Instagram post, you can tell us whose evening you think is the most fun, and that will be crowned the winner.
Heck yeah.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I'm just kidding.
I got a random wheel generator.
And we get to pick our placement, right?
Yes. And around it goes, and the guest goes first. We've got a winner.
Oh, fantastic.
So you can pick your position. So I know it's not everyone likes to go to be in the pole position. So you can pick to go. You can go first. You can go second. You can go last. And it is a snake style draft.
So I could get fourth and fifth.
You would get fourth and fifth.
I'm gonna go fourth.
Yeah, that's the move.
So the second person who gets to decide is going to be me, and I'm gonna take first.
Interesting.
Up, Andrew, you're next.
I have to think about this for a couple hours. I'm gonna go second.
And then Sean, you're gonna take the third pick.
Okay.
So it's gonna go JJ, Andrew, Sean, Dan, and then Dan, Sean, Andrew, JJ, and then back and forth until we each have 5.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Okay, I am on the clock. I'm going to start with my favorite drink. We are going to go to a little place called the Spice Road Table in Morocco, and we're going to get the Moroccan Mule.
That is a good choice.
Great choice.
I'm going to Rose and Crown, and I'm taking a half and half.
Rose and Crown for a black and tan.
A black and tan, yeah.
All right.
Oh dear. Okay. 2 heavy hitters out the gate there. I will be starting my day at La Cava del Tequila with a blood orange margarita.
Okay, Dan, you've got the wraparound, so you get to make 2 choices.
I think I can save one for my next time, the one that I talked about earlier. But I'm going to go because you had mentioned something, the idea that we're if everyone's coming along for the ride, who's going to plan the best overall trip? And that's being said, I'm going to just high roll it, even though I said earlier that I didn't need this place.
Oh,
we are heading. We are going to start. We're going to all meet at Spaceship Earth. First, we're going to do is we're going to actually ride Spaceship Earth, and then when we get off, we're going to go straight upstairs to Geo.
I thought this place was safe.
I thought this was safe too.
Going to dine on brown butter old fashions.
Brown butter old
that might
fashions.
be the best. That really might be the best drink.
So you guys can join me, and that's how we're starting my tour, and then we're going to go, since I get to go again, we're going to my actual current favorite spot in all of Epcot, the Regal Eagle.
It's so good.
Oh,
in the America Pavilion, and we are going for the Tennessee Lemonade. I think that's what it's called. It's the one with Jack and lemonade.
Tennessee lemonade.
Pretty sweet.
yes.
Pretty good. And we're going to do that in Regal Eagle.
Regal Eagle has no business being as good as it is. It really is so good.
I know. I have a shirt that says I'll have a moonshine sour. Like
Yeah.
that place rules. So. Okay. He's
Sorry,
also
guys,
a strong
I had to
start.
take 2 heavy hitters right in a row.
You've done your research. You're prepared.
Alrighty. I just want to make sure where I want to go is on the list here. Of course it is. I'll be taking my party across the World Showcase in a very out of order way to Levine's des Chefs de France for a Grand Marnier Grey Goose slushy.
Oh,
Orange slushies to the face.
a classic.
It is.
Andrew, you are up.
I am just going to stay at Rose and Crown all day.
Nope.
That doesn't work? No? Okay.
No, not allowed.
All right. I'm going to make sure I last the night. So even though I have turned against this drink recently in the past year or so, I'm going to ask them to not give me the batched version and to make me a really fresh one. I'm going to get an espresso martini from Tutto Gusto. All right. And it can't be the one that they made 3 hours ago that's in a huge pitcher. They have to make it for me right then and there With a generous tip, of course.
Very demanding of you.
No, generous tip. Generous tip.
Very.
Be sure you take good care of our friends.
Gorsh, they're with me. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, so now it's time for my wraparound choices, right? I'm going to do something that's about setting the vibe for the day, right? We're going on a journey together. We're going to head over. This actually might be the first place we go to. We might walk in to a little place called the Land Pavilion, grab a drink at Sunshine Seasons, a little High Lie, a Cigar City High Lie, and we'll drink that while we wait online for Living with the Land, and then we'll take a lap on Living with the Land.
That's a solid move. Man, that's a solid move. Combining it with the ride, oh.
Well, you started it by painting the picture of going on Spaceship Earth and then a brown butter old fashioned.
True.
This is my makeshift version. And then my next drink choice. There's still some really great things on the board here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a really strong drink. It's strong and it's sweet. It's at the Garden House in Japan, and it is called the Tokyo Sunset.
Tokyo Sunset.
That's a crowd pleaser, sweet, very sweet drink. Okay, Andrew, you are on the clock for your third selection.
Okay, so I started in the United Kingdom. I walked around to Italy, getting some nice views, heading on to Germany, and now I want to get back into my beer. Right, that's where I like best, and this is the only place on Disney property where you can get this beer. It is absolutely great. Next time you're in the German pavilion, go to the beer stand, the one that says beer on top. All right. It's not the one beer. It's not by the lake, but it's like attached to the building. The König Ludwig Weiss beer. That's the one of the best beers, I think, at Disney World. If you like, especially if you like Weiss beer, the König is great. So yeah, head to the pavilion, the German pavilion for that Weiss beer.
All right. Sean, you are on the clock for your third selection.
Third selection here. I think I'm going to move to a beer as well. We've had a couple fruity sweet concoctions. I am going to probably walk by Andrew's group in Germany. We will not be going to the same place, but we will be going to Summerfest. And we might get a bratwurst, we might not. But we're definitely getting a Warsteiner Dunkel in a nice big 20-ounce cup. And that's going to be nice and refreshing for wherever we walk to next.
A Dunkel is great.
Hey, that's a good time. You can Lady and the Tramp a brat with your bud.
I just love telling the story when we went to Summerfest. The three of us, we go there, we order, we go to sit down. I look at Sean, and he has already devoured his 3 brats. His three brats in a matter of like.
It was 3.
minutes.
I thought it was 2.
It couldn't have been more than 5 minutes.
I unhinge the jaw, and they just go.
It was absolutely disgusting to witness.
But fascinating.
Fascinating. Life-changing, really. Yeah.
I see you guys heading over to Germany, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't I head there as well? But we're going to sweeten it up for the ladies. Because, ladies, come with me. We're going to head into the Weinkeller, and we're going to take our pick of if we want the red wine flight or the white wine flight. Normally, I go red wine, but today it's a little warm out in this day, so we are going to have a nice, crisp white wine flight that has a selection of Rieslings, and we're gonna just cool it down, get out of the heat, go gather around that big brown wood table in the back. We're gonna have a cheese plate, and we're gonna have a white wine flight at the Weinkeller. Then we're gonna go through the Christmas store and pick out an ornament, and we're gonna get on that boat and take that up to the front. Because since I get to go again, now we're going to head over to Canada and the Canada cart. Because My wife just showed up, and her favorite drink.
Who are these ladies that you were with before your wife showed up?
Just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it.
It's gonna be great. Just go with it. They're coming along too. She's invited. So we're gonna go over to the cart in Canada and have her favorite drink and just a great drink in general. The Ottawa Apple, which has got Crown Royal and some, I believe, cranberry. Yeah. It's a really solid drink right there at the popcorn cart in Canada, and then walk down to the waterfall and cool down with some of that mist coming off the waterfall. It's going to be a great little
nice
part of our tour.
That is nice.
Nice. I'm surprised you didn't go with shots of Jägermeister at the Weinkeller.
I gotta say, I think the Weinkeller is a really underrated place. People don't really know it's there. Yeah.
Is Weinkeller the new Tutto Gusto?
Yeah.
Because the Tutto Gusto wine cellar used to be, every time there was no one ever in there. And now it's like a really hot, it's like popular spot to go. It was always like it's not a hack. I'm not the only one that knows about it, but I was just, whenever I was there, no one would know to go back there. And it would almost feel like we had the place to ourselves.
Here's an insider tip for anybody. So let's say all the lines are long. You go to the Weinkeller, all so long. Randomly lately, they've been putting literally just like a bucket, like a barrel of beer, beers on ice in the little gift shop right next to it where they sell the Steins. And so you can literally just grab up and buy it from the Stein person.
Wow.
Zero line. So, little pro tip.
That is.
Now that's a hack. Why isn't this on the list?
the barrel in the Stein.
What you're telling me is that what I'm hearing is that I need to spend more time in the Germany pavilion. Emily, you hear that?
Apparently, that was 3 in a row?
We're all in the Germany pavilion, except for me, apparently. Sean, you're on the clock with your fourth pick.
So I was just thinking about what I was going to do with this pick, and we're going to go to Norway, and we're going to go to the Kringla Bakery. And I think around this time of the day, people need a pick-me-up. People are getting a little tired. People might want a little energy.
I had an espresso martini.
We're getting a Viking coffee.
Me,
Well, my group is not your group. My group's better than your group, so... We're getting a Viking coffee at Kringla Bakery in Norway.
That's a value pick as the fourth selection, big time. Oh yeah,
I think it's a crowd pleaser too. The people voting on Instagram will like this pick.
Absolutely. Okay, Andrew.
I'm going to head around again. To finish out World Showcase and end at Mexico. I'm going to take the margarita stand that's outside of the margarita stand that's outside of Mexico Pavilion, and I'm going to be getting not the blood orange because that's what I would have gone. I'm going to be getting the avocado margarita.
Can you get the avocado margarita at Chosa de Margarita?
I think you can, but I think it's batched.
Oh,
maybe they make them inside and bring them out.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so this is my last two selections, my fourth and fifth pick, and you guys did a pretty good job of killing everything off. So we are going to head over to the refreshment outpost right next to Germany, and we're going to get a frozen brown elephant.
Wow.
And this is essentially Coke Slurpee with Amarillo liqueur in it. It's like a nice vanilla Coke slushy situation. A super underrated drink in the World Showcase. Really nice. Definitely a crowd pleaser. My wife, who does not like the taste of alcohol, loved this drink. One of her favorites, that and the Moonshine Sour, were her two favorites in the World Showcase. So I can definitely vouch. It's definitely a crowd pleaser. And then for my last selection, I'm being a little sneaky here, but there is that beer cart in the UK, and I'm just going to get a traditional Guinness.
Ooh. Yeah, good one.
A nice pour of a delicious Guinness from the beer cart in the UK.
All right, so that means I'm up. At this part of the night, I don't think the friendship boats are running. But if they are, I'm going to jump on the boat because that's one of my favorite forms of transportation on property. But if not, I'm going to walk around.
Top four.
Top four.
Top four, right?
Top four form of transportation. I'm going to either walk around or boat over to the Japan Pavilion. And I'm going to go to Teppan Edo Bar. So that is this small bar that's really meant as a restaurant bar. It's not really a place that you're supposed to stay at. It's kind of in the waiting area for the hibachi style restaurant at the Japanese Pavilion. And so I'm going to get a beer here. I'm going to get a Sapporo here, though. The biggest one they have. And I'm going to head out afterwards onto the balcony and get ready for those fireworks. And that's how I'm gonna end, because that's a great viewing point for all fireworks, and surprisingly even harmonious. That was pretty dead on with the barges.
Oh yeah, Japan is pretty centered.
Yeah. So that's going to be my fireworks viewing area, and and a Sapporo to end the night.
Nice job. Sean, your last selection.
I'm going to stay, obviously, in the World Showcase. We're going to go to China for my last selection, and it's going to be pretty easy, pretty basic. The Dragon Blossom draft beer.
That's a good beer.
Very refreshing. I had to look. I had to remember. It's like it's got an orange and honey a taste to it, and it's really good, really refreshing, and that'll be how we end our 5-drink tour here at Epcot.
Yeah, that's at the Lotus Blossom Cafe. That's just at the quick service, but they've got a couple. There's another beer there that's also very good, very floral forward too. There's some good beers at that stand.
Indeed.
I'm gonna tell you, I was on pins and needles when you said China, because I was getting worried that you were going to take my pick, but no, I am next door.
Really?
The joy of tea.
So we can cheers our drinks.
I like it.
When I grab you grab your draft beer, but I'm going to be having an ice cold Tipsy Ducks in Love.
Tipsy Ducks in Love.
Just cheers from the China Pavilion. Then we can walk through the gift shop and enjoy some of the unique items available in the gift shop there in China. And maybe, you know what? Why don't we just catch the movie?
Gotta love a Circle Vision.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Wow.
Well, maybe when I was like
a Circle
5,
Vision
but...
Theater.
I want you to set your bar so high for this movie. If you like Flight of Passage, you're gonna love the China movie.
All right.
I think everyone's got a good rundown.
Yeah, we're going to have to run down each of our selections. We'll go in draft order. So I'll start. My 5 drinks are the Moroccan Mule at Spice Road Table. Then we're gonna grab some High Lies, Ride Living with the Land, a nice line beer and a great beer. Then get a little sweet in us, Tokyo Sunsets at the Garden House in Japan, a frozen brown elephant at the Refreshment Outpost, and of course, ending the day with the fireworks view from the UK beer cart and having a nice Guinness.
JJ, I'm sorry that you had such a miserable day. Let me tell you how you could have had a better day. If you started with Rose and Crown, a black and tan, half and half, all right? One is floating on top of the other. It's impressive. Since you just like to jiggle it. All right. After that, you walk all the way to Italy for the espresso martini. Then we're getting a Koenig Weiss beer at the beer stand in Germany, the avocado margarita at the margarita stand in Mexico, and then over to Teppan Edo for the Sapporo.
Nice
Sean?
Selections. Sean, how about you?
Oh, you're done. You're done.
I'm done.
He's done giving his loser list. Yeah.
The list that's going to win. Yeah.
No.
For my list, we'll be starting with a blood orange margarita at La Cava del Tequila. We'll be moving over to the France Pavilion to get a Grand Marnier Grey Goose slushy. We'll be stopping in Germany to get a Warsteiner Dunkel from Summerfest. And then we'll be getting a little energy with a Viking coffee at the Norway Kringle Bakery. And finally, heading over to the Lotus Blossom Cafe in China to get the honey orange beer.
All right. Take us home, Dan. Take us home, Professor.
Well, this has been such a great day. As we are heading towards Epcot, as we just left Trader Sam's, we are on the monorail. Step off the monorail straight to Spaceship Earth to Geo 82 for a brown butter old fashioned. Then we know what he said. Now we just are really feeling it. So we're going to walk all the way to the back of World Showcase Lagoon to the bar that no one knew we all needed about 7 years ago. The Regal Eagle for the Tennessee Lemonade, one of the best drinks in all of Epcot, before we just saunter over to Germany and the Weinkeller for a white wine flight. Now we're definitely feeling it. We're feeling the love. We're going to head over to Canada and the Ottawa Apple at the popcorn cart before almost a dessert drink to top it all off. The Tipsy Ducks in Love at the Joy of Tea in China.
I mean, it is quite a list.
Quite a list.
Yeah. I wonder, on the show post, please tell us who are you joining? Besides me, of course. But yeah, I think anyone would have fun at any of these itineraries will be a good time.
Yeah.
I think I'll take one of those newfangled trolleys down to the drugstore soda fountain and meet the boys for a cold sarsaparilla.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dan, for joining us today. Really appreciate it. We love your expertise of the Disney World area and all things drinking, but also leisure, just leisure activities, having a good time at Disney World. That's the important part.
No, thank you. This has been fun. Any excuse to talk about Walt Disney World and Epcot. It's just really good time. Thanks, guys.
Is there anything you want to plug or promote before we let you go?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I do love having fun, just obviously on Twitter and Instagram at Professor Leisure. But like you said, I do like having some fun with the Leisure Time TV and just any of that stuff. You can go to professorleisure.com and it links to everything.
Great. ProfessorLeisure.com. I know he's got his bracket brewing, so make sure to check that out. Resort Pool Madness. Should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Any quick picks you guys think might pull it off this year? Any upsets? Any bracket busters?
I got a question for you. How do you treat the quiet pools? The pools that don't have lifeguards?
Those are going to be like your 16 seeds, so that, I mean, honestly, usually that's who, those will be like a 16 seed. Usually you get the Mighty Ducks pool. You've got the piano pool at the All-Star Music, those types of things. Maybe 15, sometimes a 14 seed, depending on how it goes.
So I'm a big fan of the quiet pools because you can fill up a Yeti with some beverage of your choice or something like that. But the one at the Polynesian has a bar in the area and also has cabanas. That's a great quiet pool.
Yeah, the
Oasis. That's what it's called. Okay, I've always wondered. Yeah.
So to answer, somebody did suggest potentially doing like an NIT this year of just side pools. We got to see really just where the numbers stack up when we do the draft for the. So we see, because that would be fun too. Because I agree, it's hard to like compete a side pool versus a main pool with the slides and all that. Right. So we'll have to see how it happens. But somebody might shock the world.
I'm a very big fan of the Doubloon Lagoon pool at Port Orleans French Quarter. I would ride that Cinderella story the entire way.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. I love a good underdog.
A non-number one, a nice little, maybe like a mid one is the pool at Wilderness Lodge that has the little piece of Disney history. It's got a piece of the crane that was on the backstage tour. I like that. I like a little piece of Disney history. That'll be my choice. My little underdog. It might be more like a a 5 or a 6 seed, but it could make some noise.
It's like the Dayton or the Valparaiso of the tournament.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone loves the lava pool and Stormalong Bay, and I think they're gonna do well. It'd be obvious to take one of those, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. We'll have to start. I appreciate hearing the professional handicappers.
All right, Sean, do you want to take us out?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the ReedyGeeks podcast. Like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Any questions, comments, concerns, future titles, or topic ideas, email us at reedygeeks@gmail.com and check us out on all our socials at ReedyGeeks. We'll see you next time.
Was it really that long? I don't know.
It was longer than it probably should have been.
This week's Honest Send-Off was courtesy of the Geeks. If you have an honest send-off that you want played at the end of one of our episodes, please submit an audio clip to us via our email address, reedygeeks@gmail.com. ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast, is hosted and executive produced by Andrew Shopee, Sean Murphy, and JJ Hefner. Music and audio engineering by JJ Hefner.
Bon voyage.